Hey guys, just a quick video here to compare some benchmarks between the 3700X and the 9800X 3D for WoW and Path of Exile, since I think a lot of the new videos on 9800X 3D didn't really capture a whole lot of information about either of these two games, which is primarily what I play, but understandable since there's not like a really consistent benchmark test that either of these games provide. So, the tests themselves aren't very scientific. I'm definitely not a certified hardware reviewer by any means, but just wanted to put the information out there for anyone who was considering upgrading. So, I kept the GPU the same and the monitor. I do primarily play in like 1440p because this is a 49-inch monitor. So I'll usually play in windowed mode with like Discord and Firefox to the sides. But the game itself will at least be 1440p. So like I said, upgraded from the 3700X to the 9800X 3D, which involved changing sockets. So went from the X570 Aorus Elite for the AM4 over to the ASRock X870 Still Legend for AM5. I did also upgrade the RAM as part of this too from DDR4 to DDR5. So that definitely obviously contributes to some of the frame difference that we'll see here in a second. But for the most part, hopefully attributing a lot of this to the 9800X 3D. So for the first test, I just flew around Dornogal for like a minute. Nothing really too crazy. Just did laps around the city basically, and there wasn't as much of a increase around the 1% lows. It did help a little bit, but I did at least get a average frame rate jump from 57 to 87 FPS just flying around the city. With the max that I was able to do with these setups going from 64 to 102. I also went and killed the world boss a few times. I didn't really want to wait till I was actually doing my mythic rating. We're on Mythic Silicon Core right now, but I didn't want to have to wait to do 2 weeks of mythic rating to try to compare like OpenX, for example, which is where a lot of people have complained about seeing issues. But the world boss definitely saw much better results, I think, going from 40 to 97 FPS average, able to hit a max of 120, which is what I, excuse me, cap it out at, since that's all that my monitor can support, 120 hertz. But similarly, not really too much of a crazy difference here between the 1% lows and the 0.1% lows, with just like 8 versus 18 FPS and 7 versus 13. And then finally for Path of Exile, here the average and the max I think were already pretty similar. I didn't do a crazy juiced map here or anything. It was just basically an Alkengo city square on my settler's character, which is just like a bleed gladiator. There was a few mechanics in the map like delirium, the harbinger, and one other, but not crazy juiced. But the big change here is that the 1% lows and the 0.1% lows definitely improved quite a bit, much more than WoW going from like 16 to 79, for example. And so even then, just going from 100 to 115 FPS average is not too shabby either. So there you have it. I'll be at least upgrading the GPU part of it when the new 5 series GPUs come out. But that won't be for another few months here, so just sticking with the 2080 in the meantime. But still thought it might be interesting just to see how the 9800X 3D compares to the 3700X. Cool. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Appreciate it.